Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. 2025 has just dropped two brand new must-play VR games. This includes today's drop of Titan Isles and the recent release of Quantum Void. Now, I waited for the embargo time of Titan Isles so I could give you my first impressions and include that game on today's list of my favorite VR 2025 game releases. You'll have to wait for that though, because we're gonna go in chronological order, starting with Arken Age. Now, this is another one of those VR games that unfortunately just doesn't look fantastic in the trailer, as with no depth, everything just looked green on green. But once you get in game, you realize nothing can be further from the truth. This alien world is not only stunning, but it's filled with details. Many aspects of this game are quite unique, and it brings the full package with great graphics, intriguing storytelling, excellent melee and ranged combat, plus a massive weapon leveling system. It's the exact type of VR game I'm always asking for, and I'm really excited that questers will be able to jump into this title in the near future. But another fantastic game that you could jump into on any platform right now is Ghost Town. From Fireproof Games, the same studio that gave us The Room VR, they're back with an even bigger and better title. At times, it looks like they're pushing the MetaQuest 3 graphics to the max. Overall, it's the best VR storytelling I've seen since The Lone Echo, and the puzzles had that perfect balance of challenging, but not so hard that you get frustrated. They basically just offer up some optional tooltips if you're waiting in the same area for too long. So if you have any interest in puzzles or VR storytelling, absolutely go check out this game. And I would say the exact same goes for the Midnight Walk. Again, we have stunning graphics, a unique world, this claymation style art design that you rarely ever see, which is even more immersive in VR. And I enjoyed both the dark horror themes and the almost childlike story of wonder that they offer up at the same time. Potboy is the absolute coolest companion since Quill from Moss. So if you enjoy those cat and mouse horror theme mechanics, those games where there's some sort of killer that you constantly have to hide from, definitely go check out the Midnight Walk. I actually played through this game twice, once on flat screen, once in VR, and I noticed so many different things from both perspectives. This was almost the biggest surprise of the year for me, but I was actually more amazed at just how well Besiege ported to the MetaQuest. I had some serious concerns about performance with all those physics running, and I was also scared that the developers wouldn't have a good understanding of VR controls, but to my surprise, everything worked out. Overall, performance is fantastic. The game looks and runs great, plus both building and driving your vehicles feels way more natural in VR than with a keyboard and mouse. This really shocked me. I honestly didn't think it was going to feel right. It was just going to be keyboard and mouse emulation, but no, they built a whole new system and it feels incredible. It's the ideal game for anyone who enjoys physics sandboxes, physics-based puzzles, or for those who really enjoy challenges and building stuff. There's like a million different approaches to everything they put in front of you, and just finding some quirky solution that actually works is amazingly fun. Now, speaking of just plain fun, there's a mixed reality title that keeps sucking me back in, and that is Banners and Bastions. Now, this is basically just a fantasy-themed tower defense title where you build up little armies of foot soldiers, archers, pikemen, etc. What makes the game actually stand out, though, is the fact that it requires a lot of micromanagement. It's not about having the right tower in the right position. It's about playing the hand that's dealt to you and strategically mobilizing different units into different positions. The game also utilizes hand controls, which is a nice touch here. But surprisingly, we're already 6 games in, and we're yet to talk about a co-op game until right now. Zyx is another one of these games that I was quite curious about, but had low expectations for. Now, once I got in game though, it was actually way more than I ever expected. Most of the elements that make this game special are nearly impossible to show off in a 2D trailer. There are some really unique and beautiful graphical elements, like how looking into your physical body almost feels like you're peering into a whole nother galaxy. It's also really hard to show off just how cool the locomotion and gesture-based abilities are. This is the work of a team that truly loves VR, and they created an amazingly fun co-op roguelike title that almost plays like a sci-fi version of Dungeons of Eternity. It's a truly unique co-op title that I recommend you jump into with your friends. And on that note, Steam VR players also got access to Dungeons of Eternity this year. This 4-person dungeon crawler was already one of my favorite titles back when it was just on the MetaQuest, but now it looks even better and there's a whole new community of people to play with. It has a perfect co-op RPG grind to it with a gameplay loop and upgrade system that keeps you coming back for more, and some of the best co-op online physics. Nearly 2 years since launch, and I still jump back into this game for a few hours every week. But it looks like that's about to change now that Titan Isles is here. I originally played this roughly 6 months ago, was absolutely impressed back then, and it only got better since. This 4-person co-op shooter not only has a story-driven campaign, but also these massive Titan-style monstrosities to fight. Adding to the overall mechanics, there's a class system where you get to select from 4 different exosuits, all with unique abilities, weapons, and locomotion properties. It's not quite the holy trinity of support, DPS, and tank, but each exosuit is more specialized in those categories. And there's also a massive leveling system that not only enhances your overall abilities, but also offers up tons of customization. Now, as the difficulty ramps up, you'll definitely need a team that's dialed in. The sniper class, ready to hit the boss's critical spots. The more tanky classes could defend against special boss abilities. And this creates lots of unique different strategies and combos for how you can approach combat. Now, I'm also really pumped for a story-driven campaign because many other co-op titles are just dungeon dives, and this is more straight linear progression where you and your team can find out just how far you make it. Now, it's definitely too early for me to give you guys a review, but I will say I'm absolutely loving the title, and I'm planning to play it for next week's game night, so make sure to get in the Discord if you want to join us. But we actually have one more title before we're done. As much as Titan Isle surprised and impressed me, I was even more blown away by Quantum Void, a game I previously heard absolutely nothing about. I started seeing comments on my channel, try Quantum Void, and I honestly thought these were spam bots. It's quite rare that people recommend a good game that I've never heard of. So I finally jumped into this game, and I have to say it is absolutely amazing. Graphically, it's a stunner and reminds me of Red Matter 2, but in other moments, it's reminiscent of Alien Isolation, and it gets extremely cinematic, reminding me of Farpoint. Now, the one negative I will say is you're going to need your VR legs for this title, as it becomes an extremely intense space ride. But it's also incredibly cinematic. I think Michael Bay did the choreography for the explosions. I felt like I was on one of those really high quality Universal rides. I swear it felt like my room was shaking, or someone had installed haptics in my chair. Now, like I said, I had no idea what this game was about, but I wasn't expecting to be flying around in my own little personal spaceship, nor did I think it would feel so good, or the gameplay would feel so intense. Now, I can't give it the stamp of approval just yet because I just recently started this and I'm not very far into it, but holy crap, it gives an amazing first impression. And that right there was my list of surprise VR hits. Do you guys think I missed any? Let me know down in the comments. Do you disagree with me? I'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing.